Vice News is dead. It's gone.
Hooray!
It's over. Which, I think, yeah.
Come on, Harry.
Appreciate it.
Yay!
You did it. You were so awful. You're gone. Anyway, you wonder what the hell I'm talking about. You may remember a while back we were talking about Vice. For people who haven't heard of Vice before, here's a quick rundown. They used to do, once upon a time, the best stuff on the internet, in my opinion.
Yes.
As you can see, this is a video from Shane 12 years ago, going to North Korea, which at the time was bloody legendary to go there with a camera and film. That just wasn't a thing you would do. And then, speaking of things you wouldn't do, they also decided to go and meet ISIS. And
did they become friends?
You're the one that does that sort of stuff now, aren't you?
Yeah.
But at the time, it was groundbreaking. I mean, this was 9 years ago. It was unbelievable. I mean, the ISIS one is actually still unbelievable because nobody has done that since, because Jesus Christ, do you want to die? And the point being that they made their wealth of respect to the point where they were actually responsible for the negotiations for Dennis Rodman going to North Korea. It was actually a Vice News guy who orchestrated that. What?
Vice are the one that sorted that out.
Yeah.
Vice facilitated Dennis Rodman's BFF relationship with Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. But the point,
Hey.
massive influence, massive respect from a lot of people being like, good Lord, they do interesting stuff. And a huge fan base of people who are interested in things like this. And then instead, of course, Vice went a different route because, of course, the name is meant to mean the edgy stuff, the sins. And someone at Vice News was like, what if I look at dildos in Venezuela for the transsexuals are using? And everyone was like, no, why?
I remember doing a segment talking about that sort of stuff when they were announced they're in financial trouble and laid a bunch of staff off.
Hi folks, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to direct your attention to the aesthetics range of merch that we have on the store. These are beautiful images that I think work really well as posters or mugs. So if you want to support us, going over to the merch store at shop.lotuseater.com is easily the best way other than signing up on the website.
Yeah, because it's fun to be like, hey, what if we do interesting things? But also, if it's still Vice but uninteresting, then it's not that cool. It's actually kind of cringe. And that leads to this news. As you can see, the story is a month old, as they say here. Vice Media to be laying off hundreds of workers and to stop publishing on its site. And this is the news. The website. It's gone. Still there, but nothing new getting put on it. And that's the funny thing. And this whole story completely passed me by, because I was paying attention back when they were trying to sell the bloody thing, and nobody wanted to buy it because it was crap. And I'm not sure what's happening there. I think they actually have now fallen through with the buyer they wanted to buy their company, and now they're just kind of fucked. Which, hey!
The
cool.
chat had a good suggestion that Tim Pool and Gavin McInnes come together.
Rebuy it.
Yeah. Take it back over. Make it great again.
But you'd just be buying the trademark at that point, because you'd have to fire every member of staff.
Oh, yeah, of
It
course.
gets better.
Yeah, well, that's a bonus, yeah.
For people who don't know, the reason being because, well, they used to be cool. You know, Gavin McInnes, one of the co-founders, and they just got overrun with leftists doing mad stuff. So they say here in the article, the guy who runs the place, he's saying, as you know, we are in advanced discussions to sell this business, and we are continuing with that process. We expect to announce more on that in the coming weeks. And then didn't.
We should start a crowdfund and buy out Vice just for a laugh.
What are we going to do with it? We're going to
Just buy the building and then blow it up. Live stream it.
Okay. Well,
That would get a lot of eyes, to be honest.
It would, yeah.
it turns out there's a Vice union because, of course, being leftist, they all unionize, and which is weird when you don't produce anything of value. So here's the union in question.
Wait a second.
So much
Zoom
effort
in.
went into designing.
Wait a moment. I see where things may have gone wrong here.
That's a
Anyway,
lot of women, isn't it?
they say that
What,
Vice,
I wasn't talking about that, Josh. What's wrong with you?
they say here, Vice Union stands in solidarity with our laid-off colleagues who helped make this company what it was, but no longer is. All right? They went on to say, as has been with previous layoffs, Vice has once again dedicated to letting go of the very same people who worked tirelessly to turn it into a respected award-winning media company.
Gavin McInnes. What?
Bit of an error on that one, because, who? Name them. Because I'm willing to bet that the people who did the ISIS doc are not the same people who are writing the modern content, at least on the website. Because as you can see here, they haven't published since this announcement. All this has just stayed the same. Because I occasionally check in here to see if they've written something mad that I can enjoy for a segment. I'll just read you some of the headlines, and we'll see whether or not the people who did the old stuff might be the people doing this stuff.
We had Vice is gone. BuzzFeed News died the other year. What's next? The Guardian. Where are we going to get our lolcal articles from?
I don't know, it's going to be tough.
We're going to have to become the lolcows.
We already are.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's the articles they write at Vox. So we'll start off with an oral history of Marge versus the monorail, the episode that changed The Simpsons.
Oh,
Okay.
I need people to explain analysis of Simpsons episodes to me. I mean,
Oral history. Next article that popped out to me was aid workers, one Australian killed in Gaza. All right. Next one, deep throating for beginners. Okay.
that one sounds
Wait, okay,
interesting.
right.
Hang on,
That last,
pull that one up.
that last one sounded like, possibly actual news. the fact that, aid workers and some random Australian guy had been killed in Gaza after delivering food. That's news.
You're sharing shelf space with...
Yeah, deep throating for beginners.
Next one popped out to me was the soul food royalty of Brooklyn, GG's Fish and Chips. It's just a story about some guys that open a restaurant that's quite good, maybe. Okay.
Maybe. Fish and chips, though. Really?
What is the UNRWA, the Palestinian Aid Agency, and what does it do?
Okay, that's real news, possibly again. That's a real analysis.
The next one, what is the twink-handler relationship? I asked a bunch of twinks and their handlers.
Did Connor write for that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who's like curating all of this? Who's in charge of the content curation of Vice that says these two things? Yep, this is a good brand image.
Well, that twink story is right next to nowhere else to go. Australian government cancels visas for Palestinians fleeing Gaza.
There's
a running theme. It's just like Western degeneracy, Gaza. Western degeneracy, Gaza. Okay. I mean, then the last one that jumped out to me was what being a vapid socialite taught me about people, which point being, it's crap. All of this is crap.
That last one is at least much more honest than I was expecting.
Yeah, that's your whole agency, my friend. It's all your friends. It seems to be the entire production staff of your website, if nothing else. But the funniest one that jumped out to me, which illustrates a broader problem with such things, which is they know how unprofitable they are writing such garbage. So there's this one. What I know about the average penis size from sleeping with more men than I can count.
What did you find out?
That's a hell of a headline. That's actually interesting.
I have an idea of how these kinds of writers got signed on to Vice.
Well,
they were very talented.
This one is anonymous.
Well, whoever the editor was might have said deep throating for beginners. Well, if we can get some practical demonstrations, I might take you on.
We've only got experts at our company.
As for this local whore, the reason...
It's by anonymous as well, for God's sake.
That group can't keep on getting away with it.
I'll save you the click. What she found out is that a penis that fits her vagina perfectly is the perfect one because then it's not too big, not too small. Goldilocks in action. But the
That's not what Goldilocks was about.
One could say Goldie Cox.
Anyway, but the important thing, the reason I bring this up is not just haha penis. It's because if you scroll down, this article is sponsored by Durex. This is why this shit exists. Literally, Durex are paying them to write about having lots of cock because they want you to go out and have lots of cock.
How to be a whore, according to a whore.
Yeah.
Vibrator, the countdown cock ring. I made my own DIY birth by pushing my balls into my body. What?
Quick, Callum, click on it.
But like, you're sharing self-space.
No.
Like, look at this shit. Like,
Free birth control, man.
The how to become a whore male prostitute is sharing self-space with the best documentary I've ever watched, which is the Islamic State, which they just went and met the Islamic State. And all the people are in here just being like, it's all fun and games till YouTube asks you to confirm twice because it gets a warning if you click on it. It's like, are you over 18? Are you really sure you want to watch this? Yeah, you do, because it's good content. It's incredible. I mean, 16 million views on that one.
I don't know, Callum. I want to learn about the guy who pushed his balls up in his body.
I don't think that got 16 million views. Just saying.
I didn't read it. 60 million.
I didn't read it that much, damn.
But if you go and check out the video content, it's kind of just as short, if nothing else. So this is, I can ruin a person's life for $1,000. 10 questions with a Bolivian witch.
I can do it for nothing.
Also, who gives a shit?
Leave that.
It's just, I mean, you can see the dislikes
How many
on
views
this.
did this one get?
78K
Yeah, that's a hell of a drop.
on a channel with 18 million subs.
Oh, I mean, it's from 7 days ago, but still.
Top comment: can she bring Vice back to life?
So Vice is just a YouTube channel now.
Yeah, they've given up on being a website entirely. They've got rid of all the stuff for it because they were too busy writing about how much cock they've taken, and weirdly enough, they didn't pay the bills.
But you compare it to that, the secret sex parties of the mega rich, that's got 18 million views. That was 2 years ago.
interesting. Yeah.
Eyes wide shut, isn't it? Sort of with a mask.
Deep throating thing I mentioned. Turns out that was actually a big old series they did here, as you can see.
Oh no!
In which they hired
Don't play it.
a female porn star and a transsexual porn star to tell you about what it's like being a woman. Which, yeah, there's a reason it got so many dislikes. It's not just because people are like, I don't like sex. I'm talking about sex. It's because it's mad. The whole project was mad from the get go, and yeah, most people are just like, what the hell is this? Because it's just silly.
This is 2 months ago. So when Vice knew that they were going to have to restructure that whole business and they needed to get something to hook people back on so they could save themselves, they go, quick, get in touch with the porn stars.
Yeah. Point being, it's crap. It's just crap. If you make crap, funnily enough, you don't get to keep your job. I mean, I love the top comment here. Thank you. My landlord just doubled the price. This is just what I needed. So, there's some good memes in it somewhere. But the point being, if you don't make stuff worth watching, you don't have business. And leftist shithole. Not funny, not profitable, kind of annoying, actually. So there's that. Whereas if you go and did the interesting stuff, you would have had a lot of cash at the end of it. But back to that Guardian article, because it turns out it's not just Vice. Everyone in the that scene is getting killed. They say here, in recent weeks, the media industry has gone through sweeping layoffs, with major cuts at Now This and The Intercept. In a statement last week, Now This union revealed that 50% of its workers had been laid off. 15 at The Intercept.
Did you say it workers, as in IT?
No, it's workers. I forgot the
right.
S speech. Yeah. They also say the New Yorker, Vogue, Wired, Vanity Fair, and Architectural Digest. I don't know why that got thrown in.
Architectural Digest, no.
Yeah. They lost 5% of their employees. Vox Media is down 4% after slashing it already by 7%.
Didn't they replace some of their writers by AI and then the standards actually improved?
Yeah, and then they realized maybe we should get rid of the rest of the bloody losers. And Now This I mentioned in there. You may have heard of them before. Oh, sorry, before I go on, I must mention, of course, for people who don't know, all 5 of you, Vice, when they're not writing that garbage about deep throating or witches, they make stuff like this, which is just an attack piece on Libs of TikTok because she reposts what liberals say. Yeah. Funnily enough, people don't want to subscribe for that. It's just dishonest crap. But getting back to Now This, because I mentioned it's a wider problem. Do you know Now This? Are you familiar with Now This?
I have actually seen some of their videos before, yeah.
I've seen a huge amount of them because, I think they used to do a whole lot of other stuff. And, then they just kind of blew up making short form stuff before short form was popular. So they're sort of ridden the wave there. I didn't know how they started. If you go and check it, they started as a shill for Ben & Jerry's, which I find weird.
That's a very strange way to start a company, isn't it? It's like, yes, we like ice cream that makes you fat.
Yeah, but clearly they've got paid for those adverts. That's what they've made.
Right from the get-go as well. That's weird.
But another leftist outlet, just like Vice there, who take corporate sponsorships to keep themselves afloat. That's actually quite rare with right-wingers, I find. Usually they're kind of organic, whereas these things are not organic. I mean, if you go and check it out,
their ice cream's probably not organic either.
No, they have millions and millions of pounds in just several series of funding. I mean, look, if you read the Wikipedia article, they say even in Series D funding, they got 16 mil to go and make videos. And what did they make? Lots and lots of shorts, which, should we take a look at the viewership? 2,000, 3,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 6,000. This isn't worth 16 million pounds. It's not. It's
not even
silly.
worth 1 million, is it?
No, I mean, whoever is employed here doesn't actually have a job. They're just living off someone else's money, if nothing else, which is probably why they cut half their staff.
You could just be a person in a house somewhere making videos and do better than this on the regular. I mean,
you'd make better stuff. You'd get better views.
Your videos, Callum, do better than this, and you're just a person.
I'm just some dick with a laptop.
That sounded really dismissive. I'm sorry.
No, I am. I'm just some guy. I like that. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the history because the history is just funny. For a leftist outlet that burns money. Of course, they just started out as being shit because they're founded by, Huffington Post people. And if you scroll down to their controversies, it's just a whole list of them lying or not caring about copyright law and then just getting in trouble with CNN, for example. Because it's the Twitter scumbag thing where they'll take someone else's video, shove their logo over the old person's logo.
The content farm style.
And been like, now this is happening. So you're just a thief. You're just a thief. Like,
I forget what it was. Do you know the guy Dom Lucre? I think he pops up on Twitter all the time. He's a content farm style guy who puts out other people's videos and puts his own logo on them. I forget whose video it was, but he just took I think it was maybe a Donald Trump video or some big political actor's video and just put his own watermark on it and shared it out like it was his.
Yeah, you're a prick.
It's basically the Ian Miles Chong of YouTube there.
Yeah.
You're just stealing people's videos. Like, it's not good. It's just annoying, if anything
I'm going
else.
to try and fact check myself on that because I don't want to spread misinformation.
Well, good. You won't get a job for Now This. But if you're wondering as well, because I've just been around a lot while looking at these things. Yeah, I don't know if other people remember TestTube or Seeker Daily. It turns out that Now This brought them and killed them. So as you can see here, this is Seeker Plus. The point being that basically a whole bunch of channels they just brought up and then ran them into the ground with leftist garbage to the point that nobody was watching it.
So they bought all of these channels and just ruined them.
Yeah, you can't find TestTube anymore. It's deleted, the whole channel. And this one I found, just to make the point, even if you scroll down on this one and then read the comments, just people being like, how many channels do you need? Because they just kept expanding with these stupid channels pointing out, well, videos that get 3,000 views. Because it's all just, the GOP have done this. War. So, I don't care. You're not adding to my life at all. You're actually just being annoying. Just noise. Just background noise. Like Occupy Democrats. It's just not sincere for no reason and just trying to farm clicks for your person who's not interesting and doesn't really have a job. But anyway, that's my point being that Vice News is dead. Now This is dead. Vogue's dead. I mean, they're all dying.
Okay.
And,
sorry, just I did find it to correct myself. It was not a video of Donald Trump. So Dom Lucre took a video that The Rock had posted on his social media a few years ago because he's got daughters and they decided to do what daughters do and try and make their daddy be all girly. So they put a wig on him and they put a load of makeup on his face and he shared it out as a cute thing that he was doing with his daughters. And Dom Lucre shared that out, put his own watermark at the end of the video and puts developing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been criticized by his fans for letting his daughters put a wig on him and cover him in makeup.
I'm surprised he didn't say he's become trans or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's trying to make it sound like it's the whole trans panic thing, which is, there is actually a lot of bad stuff going on in that direction. But let's not sensationalize The Rock doing something cute with his daughters.
You're just being Gorka.
Yeah.
Which they also died, funnily enough. It turns out being a scumbag is not a good way in long-term running of a business. And
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Vice has found it the hard way, and now they're dead. Which, good. If anyone deserves to die, it's companies like that. If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium contents on the site, such as the Epoch series, this episode on the art of Michelangelo. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.